Guys, so this is going to be a shorter practice, really great if you need a bit of a rest. Also really good just before bed. We're really focusing on opening up the front of the body and the hips and the shoulders so that when we rest in bed, we've got a little bit more space to curl into. Also fantastic if you're working on kapinjalasana. It works really well as a second little bolt on to the 15-minute classes that we've been doing as well. Okay. We actually start standing. So just find your balance. And take a little bit of time and just see where you're bearing weight tonight or today. And you might notice that I'm in my gardening clothes. I just felt the energy was perfect to film it. So I may be covered in mud. Anyway, back to your feet. And we need to ease the feet down so it seems like the feet have spread a little bit more, taken up some room on the mat. You can very gently wriggle the toes, almost like a little Mexican wave with the toes still in contact with the ground though. And then ease through the shoulders. So try and get some really lovely circle motions going on through the joints. And as you do that, just notice how you've been using the shoulders, which areas, which part of the circles feel a little bit interesting. And then circle in the other direction. And do the same with the neck. So we're just taking really gentle circles through the neck. You're welcome to close your eyes. You're welcome to take those circles through the feet as well. And just naturally, your body's going to take you to what needs to be lengthened. So notice if it's at the left or the right side that you're tending to a little bit longer in those circles. Nice. Find stillness. And if you close your eyes, just notice that the body still feels like there's some movement there. And then open your eyes, ready for our balance. Right leg stays down, spread and ground. Left leg comes up, as if it's going to turn into tree for asana, but we're going to come into slightly on top, just higher up than the knee joint. And we're going to come into that little pigeon variation of the leg. You can flex the foot if that feels a little bit nicer. You can adjust where you want that leg. So it might feel nicer to be higher up, closer to the hip. Either way, big toe stays ground. And imagine everything pouring out of that standing leg. As you exhale, everything coming out of the body, going into the ground through the standing leg. And very gently draw the knee up, send it away. Left foot, left leg, left sole of the feet spreads. It shoots out its little roots, shakes them out into the ground, feels really steady. Right knee bends. Turn the right knee out and place the right ankle just on top of the, or above the knee joint rather. Flex the foot if that feels nicer on the knee. And again, your choice, maybe you come a little bit higher, who knows. Big toe stays connected. And again, we find some softness, and with that softness, we just let everything pool and flow through the foot. Everything released through the foot. Hopefully you stay with your balance. And then leg comes down, foot comes down. Roll through the wrists. And same as the neck, just notice where in those circles the wrists feel like they have more, and where in those circles the wrists feel that they have less space. From here, come down to hands and knees. And from hands and knees all the way just to a really easy, like the most honeyed, treacly down dog ever. So it might be that you want to have a shorter down dog or a wider down dog. You might want to be on blocks underneath your heels, and just allow the head to dangle, jaws to be soft. And if you have gone wider, just come back into alignment so we can take it forward, right leg forward into a lunge, left knee down. From here, back foot untucks, knee and hip stays in alignment as we make a little cradle for the back of our cranium. We press into our hands and we lift the chest, spread the upper arms and spread the underarms. Exhale, elbows come closer together, head drops in. Inhale, we open up. Use that back foot for support. Exhale. Notice if you've done quite a lot with your back today, you might really feel that. Twice more, inhaling. Inhaling, really lean back in. And exhaling, drop the hands down. Step all the way back to down dog. And switch sides. The left leg comes forward, right knee down. Untuck the back toe. Inhale as you sweep the arms up and they come to form that little hammock. And with your thumbs on this side, we can just massage just the upper neck where it meets. And you can go all the way along the kind of borders. If we were colouring in, this would be the outline of the colouring in, where the skull starts to turn into soft tissue. Should feel really nice. Stay with it for a little if you wish. Or I can't remember which leg with, yes, lovely. Again, hands come and interlace. We open through the elbows and we rest in the hands. So press the head back, feel the support, and open through the elbows. Exhale, fold, come down. Inhale as you rise, open through the elbows, chest extends, have a little bit of a wriggle. Exhale, last two. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, really up, lift and over. Exhale, draw the hands down. Inhale as you lift the back hips. And exhale, down dog. From here, we're going to come forward into a cross-legged position, however you want. And then we're going to straighten out the left leg. So the right sole meets somewhere in the left thigh. Space behind you. And up to you whether the lift of the thighs happens or not. Totally up to you. Right knee bent. Right hand comes behind you. Settle it in a position where you feel it's supportive. And sweep that arm up. Lift the hips if it feels alright. And flow through the arm. Press through that straight leg and reach through the fingertips. Exhale. Inhale, same again. So you can make these, exhale as you lower, as lovely as you wish. You can change the pace. Last one here. You can change the position. We're just looking for some space down this long line. So however that manifests for you is perfect. Right leg straight, left leg, left thigh nozzles into the left sole of the foot nozzles into the thigh. Left hand somewhere where you feel supported. You can sweep the arm up. And again, you really find that line. If there's things going on with your shoulders when you come up, you might want to turn through that top arm and top hand and see if there's anywhere along that little spiral that could do with a nice deep stretch. Last time. If you have got that foot, that straight leg, and you can press into the straight leg so it lifts the body up even better. Exhale. Come to a wall. We're going to come to King Arthur. I would 100% suggest blocks for it unless you know King Arthur. So, I feel like I should have moved one of my blocks for this. Okay. Right leg is going to come and bend on the wall. I'm really a bit annoyed that I'm going to have to do it on the mirror. There's lots of cleaning. Your blocks are there to give you space. So right knee is nestled up close to the wall. Right ankle is on the wall. There's a little bit of a gap between the shin and the wall. If you want, pad up that knee. From here, left leg, left sole of the foot comes to the ground. And you just lean a little bit of weight through the blocks and just notice how that feels. It's probably going to be plenty today. If you want a little bit more, you can rock forward and then back. And maybe as you rock back, you just tent the fingers, being a little bit lighter. And at some point, just come into a stationary position. Lift the crown of the head up and find some space on the shoulders. And squeeze the right glute. So the glute that's closest to the wall, just give it a squeeze. And then drop onto the blocks. Knee comes down. Swap over. So left knee to the wall. Can you see that if I kind of come down a little bit? That looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Right. So left knee to the wall, close to the wall. Left ankle is on the wall. Well, it's kind of not. I guess left tiptoes really, or the front of the toes. Shin is kind of off. We use our blocks. And again, we rock on an inhale and back on an exhale. Inhale as we come forward, and exhale as we lift up. Lift up from the crown of the head and stay wherever feels most comfortable. So you want to allow the body just to be rather than chasing kind of the deepest sensation. Just allow it to be wherever it is. Exhale when you're ready. Knee drops down, collect the other foot. Make your way onto your hands and knees. From here, just briefly, we just want to keep the fire burning a little bit. We're just going to slide into a plank. Fingers are spread, head stays up. Yes. From here, inner thighs squeeze, drop the knees, and then untuck the toes. Very gently lower, and we're going to lower through our spine. So you come from the knees, the lower thighs, the mid thighs, the upper thighs, the pubic bone, the lower belly, the middle belly. Tuck the toes, press back, untuck the toes, knees are down, lower thighs come down. You can soften through the elbows, upper thighs, pubic bone, lower belly, belly button, middle belly. Perfect. Slide the hands out in Sphinx. And just rest in Sphinx. You're welcome to nod your head. Yes, you're welcome as you nod. to open the jaw. As you inhale, look up, jaw comes down. So we're just stretching out the throat. And arms wide. Slide your hips back. Knees and hips might stay in alignment, all right? If the hips come forward, just let them come forward. But just for now, keep the hips and the knees in alignment. When they need to come forward, they come forward. So we're really opening through the shoulders. We're coming into a back bend. We walk the hands forward. So notice my legs aren't moving. So this movement is coming from my shoulders and coming from my back. From here, again, if you want to come a little bit further forward, go for it. Otherwise, head comes down. And gently turn the fingers, lift the elbows up. And then softly, good manager. And then softly, elbows down. So you're in puppy. Inhale when you're ready, come all the way back up, crawl yourself up. And then just make your way into down dog. So just unwinding the spine, really softly. Right leg sweeps up. And you make your way into pigeon. Grab a block. Pop it in front if you have it. Don't worry if you don't, because I forgot to mention it at the start. So rock a little bit side to side. And then find a sense of being even in pigeon. I like to come down to my forearms and then hug my block and then roll around on my block. The edges of the block will give you a little bit more sensation. And you can literally just put pressure on, or you can press into the block and kind of pull the skin away from the bone if that feels nice. Eyebrows are a real lovely place to get into. You might come to the corners of your blocks for the temples. Last 3 breaths, really lovely, really deep. Last breath. Hands come underneath the shoulders, press back down, dog. Oh. Left leg finds some flight. Left knee slides forward. Left wrist, walk out the back leg. So looking for a little bit of nice easement around here, and then you can come down into your block. And again, maybe you try a different patch, so maybe you try more of the hairline. Last 3 breaths, just loosening everything. Inhale when you're ready. Come all the way back to hands and knees. Slide the toes together, knees wide, and walk the hands forwards. My favourite asana at the minute. Walk your hands over to the left or to the right. So if you've got space on one side and not the other, you might just want to come onto one side and then flip yourself around. Loads of time for you to walk your hands over, and you're more than welcome to lift yourself over the thigh if that feels nicer. Either way, hands and the fingers almost spreading and kind of lifting towards you. That's not a very good description. The hands are reaching away, but the fingertips are embedding in the floor and just sliding closer to you. Right hip stays down. So imagine there's something really heavy, really grounding that right hip, or whichever hip is the opposite, down into the earth. Wander over to the other side, come back into neutral. And then over to the front. So lift, left hip stays down, hands reach away for you, and fingertips draw in. If that's a little bit too much activation, you can just let the hands rest. Left hip. Come all the way back and lay on your belly. We're going to take a slightly complicated twist. If at any point you get frustrated with the complicatedness of it, come into any twist that you feel really lovely. No need to kind of be annoyed. So this is a chest stretch and also a twist. Come into little cactus arms, and then left elbow is going to be closer to the top of your mat than your shoulder. So left elbow in front of the shoulder. We're going to make little beautiful spidey hands with our other arm. And from here, we're going to use that spidey arm to lift the torso up and turn the chest towards the spider arm. So hopefully you're probably already feeling quite a strong chest stretch. From here, head comes down, chest stays facing the tent of the hand, ear is down, and then we roll onto our side. So now hips get involved. And I like to bring my top leg behind. If that's not for you, keep it in line. You are welcome to keep that knee bent. Very gently bring the body back down to the ground. Come back into those cactus arms. And then this time, right arm, right elbow in front of the shoulder. We've made a little tent with the left fingers. And then we turn our chest to try and face the left fingers whilst bringing our ear down to the ground. So the hips are now kind of on the ground. Now we're going to shift so the hips are sideways, so we're on the right hip. It's probably not a nice position for you guys to look at, but hopefully we're in the asana. And again, your choice. Legs do whatever is most natural. We're just seeing if we can find a little chest stretch. And then spin all the way back. The least amount of effort lifts you back up. You find a comfortable seat. And you just have a little bit of a floppy twist. Should be all ready for a little nap or a sleep. Namaste.